Hello and welcome. I am so glad that you're here. Today I am giving you one of my spells, or maybe I should say magical rituals, that I love to use for manifesting or attracting money into my life. You can use this practice to call in a specific amount of money or just more abundance in general. Like I said, this spell is more of an ongoing practice or ritual, so I highly recommend doing this ritual about once a day. If you can, it really only takes just a moment or two once a day once you've got it set up. If not, then a couple times a week, at least once a week would be my recommendation at the bare minimum. I have used this spell in the past to help me scale up to multiple six figures in income in my business and to help me maintain that six-figure income over the years. So it's an incredibly potent, powerful spell, and I can't wait to dive into it with you today. Now, this spell is part of the free money magic series. So if you want to learn more about the basics of money magic, as well as getting two other money spells that are in this series, we have a spell for banishing debt or money blocks, and we're going to have a spell for multiplying your money. If you want to get access to all of that, as well as exclusive tips for how to supercharge the spell we're doing today, as well as the other spells in the series, then I highly recommend going to the link below in the description and clicking that to register for the free money magic series if you haven't already. Like I said, it is all completely free, but the only way to get all of it, especially those exclusive tips on supercharging all of these spells with additional tips and ingredients you can use in them if you want, the only way you can get all that is by registering. And then once you do, all of it is delivered to your inbox. Now, just for the typical kind of notes and disclaimers before we dive into this spell. So in this spell and my other spells here on this channel, you will see me use various spices or herbs or crystals or other items. You do not have to use the same ingredients or tools that I use. I will explain why I'm using each ingredient that I use, because I believe that in your magical practices, you should always have intention behind what you're using in your spells and why. But you are welcome to either follow exactly with what I do or tweak things, make your own changes, swap out ingredients, add ingredients, subtract ingredients, change the actual spell work itself, completely up to you. As always, take what works for you, leave what doesn't, and pass everything through your own internal guidance system, meaning your own intuition, your own higher self, whatever you want to call it, and really make sure you're doing what's aligned for you. I really don't want you to feel like you have to go out and buy a whole bunch of ingredients or tools that you don't have. You can make adjustments to work with what you have on hand or what's easily accessible to you. And of course, make sure you prioritize safely practicing your magic, meaning if I suggest that you burn something or dispose of something or handle ingredients that may irritate your skin or anything like that, please do so safely. Take whatever precautions you need to be safe in your practices. All right, let's dive into our spell or ritual practice for manifesting money. What I'm sharing with you today is my variation or take on a money bowl. Money bowls are a magical practice that, to my knowledge, have been around for centuries in different shapes and forms. There are a lot of different guides out there from other magical practitioners on how to set up and work with a money bowl. And in this video, I'm also going to explain how to set up and work with a money bowl, but I'm going to be showing you my unique approach to it. Because my approach differs from what I've seen other people do with money bowls, because of my background and work as a money mindset expert, a mindset coach and guide, a wealth embodiment expert, a business mentor. That's just given me a lot of insight into ways we can take our magical practices and tweak them to make them more efficient at not just working magic, but also rewiring our subconscious to get out of our own way and allow ourselves to make more money with ease. So what I do with my money bowl practice that I haven't seen others do is I incorporate abundance tracking into my money bowl practice on a daily basis. I have taught abundance tracking to so many of my money mindset clients over the years, but I just haven't taught it in conjunction with a money bowl before. So I'm really excited to share this kind of what has been a more personal and private practice for me with my abundance tracking and my money bowl. I'm excited to share that with you here. So what is abundance tracking? Abundance tracking is what I call the practice of keeping a log of all of the abundance, particularly financial abundance, that flows to you each and every day. The concept behind this is that as you start bringing more awareness to all the money that is coming into your life, and when I say all the money, I mean all of the money, like all the big and small ways that money flows to you, you start to realize how frequently money is flowing to you. So this act of abundance tracking really invites you each day to take a moment, usually at the end of your day, and look at all the different ways money came to you and really appreciate all of those ways and have a consciousness around them rather than kind of glossing over especially the smaller ways that money can come to you and dismissing it and not really keeping yourself open to all of those options. So for example, with abundance tracking, you would track if you found a penny on the street when you were walking, you would track that. If you had your typical paycheck come in that comes in every other week, you would track that. If you saved 20 bucks at the store because they had a sale going, you would track that as $20 coming to you. It's $20 that you got to put back in your pocket on something that you were already going to buy or couldn't buy, but then you could because it was discounted. You also get to track really exciting things like huge windfalls of money, or someone gifting you 50 bucks or 100 bucks, or signing a new client in your business and making $3,000 more, or whatever it is. The idea here of tracking your abundance is that it helps you get out of and stay out of the scarcity struggle mindset that so many of us are conditioned to have around money. In doing that, you start to be able to consciously, and then over time with practice, subconsciously be looking for and acting on and opening yourself up to more and more opportunities for money to come to you. And this is so powerful because so often we are blinding ourselves to all of the many ways that money can come to us every single day. But like I said, my personal favorite way to do abundance tracking is in conjunction with a money bowl practice. This is because, as you'll see as I walk you through the money bowl setup and practice of it, you will see how the money bowl brings in a more tactile and physical element to your interaction with your money mindset and also your money manifestations. And having that physical connection to our money is so powerful, especially in our society today where most of our money is just numbers on a screen when we're checking our bank account or balance. So, what is a money bowl? A money bowl is, as the name suggests, a bowl, though it could also be a box or a pouch or a big mug or a cup or anything like that. But it's some sort of container that you charge with an intention to attract money to you in a certain way. And you also, over time, add items that represent wealth to you to it to continue to kind of feed that attraction of more abundance into your life. Now, here's the important thing to note with a money bowl. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you want to keep interacting with it over time. This is not one of those spells that you just do for 10 or 20 minutes in your house and then you're done and the spell's done and it's working. Attracting money into your life ongoingly or attracting big sums of money really requires you to engage with your money bowl, with your magical working, with your intention and your energy regularly, ongoingly. So in order to get the wealth flowing in your life and keep it flowing in your life, you have to engage regularly with your money bowl. What you do is over time, and I'll show you how I do this, but what you do is you add more things to the bowl over time and you feed the bowl in this way. Meaning you're engaging with it and you're fueling that attraction of wealth into your life. You can also take things out of the money bowl. Sometimes we spend money. It's not always about money coming in, and sometimes it's about going out. So when things feel stagnant in your money bowl, you can take things out or like they no longer fit there. You can absolutely remove them from your money bowl as well. But the idea here is that you are regularly engaging with your money bowl with this practice. I like to feed my money bowl with my abundance tracking daily, but again, you can do this just a few times a week if you like. So I'm going to walk you through now how I set up my money bowl with my initial items, my intention, and an incantation. And then I'll show you each day how I feed the money bowl with my abundance tracking. After about a month, I will reset the money bowl, which again, I'll explain how to do later on in this video. But yeah, this is just a really beautiful practice that you can use to call more money into your life and engage with your money and your financial flow in a really significant and meaningful way that helps you open yourself up to more money coming in and really intentionally manifest the money you desire into your life. And it doesn't hurt that this practice is designed to help you rewire your conscious and subconscious mind for wealth. All right, let's dive into what you will need for this spell and then do the spell together. For this spell, I'm using a bowl, pen, paper, coins. I use change in my currency. I'm in the United States, so these are pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. I would say having about 50 to 100 coins on hand for this would be good. Dried leaves harvested from my money tree plant. If you don't have a money tree, you can use bay leaves or basil as other good alternatives. Dried lavender, dried rosemary, and a card from my Wealthy Woman Oracle deck. This is the deck around money that I personally authored and had published, so this I have a very strong connection to. You can use a card from any tarot deck or other deck if you like, or you can of course go grab your own copy of the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck if you want, or you can leave this ingredient out completely, totally up to you. I will also say that you will want to do this spell in a place where you can leave your bowl for the next month or longer if you like. You'll want to access your bowl daily or at least weekly, so be sure to have it be out of the way yet accessible. I personally leave mine in the corner of my kitchen, which is one of my abundance altars in my home. This is my current money bowl that I recently reset, and it's been doing really well, so I don't want to disturb it for this video, so I'm going to be using a different bowl for this walkthrough. But it is worth noting that I like to leave my bowl uncovered so that money can flow in. I don't really like the idea of putting a lid on my money or blocking anything coming in or limiting it. All right, so we are now here at my work table. So we are going to walk through this spell together to set up our money bowl and to then work with it ongoingly, and I'll show you what all of that looks like. So the first thing I always do with every spell is to set my intention and get clear on why I want to do the spell. What am I doing with it? So for this money bowl, I'm going to use the example of creating a money bowl to attract or manifest $10,000 cash or more into my life in a positive way every month. My current money bowl that I have is actually for a lot more than that, but I feel like $10,000 months are one of those milestones a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs who I tend to work with a lot, are often shooting for. So I think that's a good example to work with here. You can also use this ritual, use the money bowl to attract money in a certain way, like through your business or through a raise, or to just attract money in general, or you could use it to manifest a one-time amount of money. It's really completely up to you. Just be clear on what your intention is going into setting up your money bowl and into the ongoing ritual and practice of it. So I've gotten clear on that intention. We're going to be doing $10,000 cash or more per month coming to me in a positive way. Now we are going to gather our ingredients. I have the ingredients here for us. So what we have here is we have our bowl. This is honestly just a bowl from my kitchen. Like, this is just a bowl that we've eaten cereal out of, and I'm gonna cleanse it. We'll do that in a minute, but it really does not have to be fancy. I like using a bigger bowl for my ongoing money bowl, for my personal one, just because I work with it a lot, so it fills up fast. But you can use really any container you like. So we've got the bowl, we've got pen, we've got paper, and I've got coins over here to symbolize, of course, money. So we've got our bowl, we have our pen, we have our paper here. We also have, of course, over here, coins, which symbolize money. These are in my currency. I am in the United States. But I will, just as a note, keep throughout the ongoing practice of my money bowl, I will keep this small bowl of coins next to it, as well as extra paper and my pen, and they'll all just kind of live together with the money bowl, and you'll see why as we go on. I also have these dried leaves right here. These are dried leaves from my money tree, and they're just leaves that I harvested from my money tree. If you don't have a money tree, I think, like I said earlier, you can absolutely use something like basil or bay leaf instead. Those are great alternatives. Ultimately, these money tree leaves represent ever-growing abundance. We have our dried lavender as well here. This is to encourage the peaceful and easy flow of our finances so that everything is flowing to us effortlessly. We don't want our money coming in chaotically. And we have our dried rosemary here. This dried rosemary is for a gentle protection. It's such a great gentle protection herb. This is for protection of my finances and gentle safety and highest good for me and everyone around me as the money flows to me. And then lastly, for our last ingredient, I have a card that I pulled from my Wealthy Woman Oracle deck. This is the Oracle deck that I created, but this is our Prosperous Overflow card. So this is really to set that intention for more than enough money to flow my way, right? To have more than enough money coming in. It indicates a readiness and openness on my part to receive all the wealth that I desire. Now that we have our intention set, we have all of our ingredients gathered, we have chosen them with intention, now we actually start our practice, our spell work, our magic, and we can start setting up our money bowl. Now, I always start my actual magical workings by cleansing the area and all of my tools and ingredients. So I like to smoke cleanse. I like to just use some purifying incense. You can use sage, you can use whatever else you want to cleanse with. I just like to use incense. I think it's easy and it smells nice. So I am just going and cleansing all of the items, all of the area, just going through and doing a nice gentle cleanse. Now that we have cleansed our area and our tools, I like to take a deep cleansing breath, and then I like to take another deep breath to center myself, really calling in my energy and my magic back to me, really gathering it so that I can use it intentionally with this spell, with this money bowl that we're going to set up together here. Once I've done that, once I've gathered my energy, my magic, I then check in with my spirit guides, my deities that I work with my own higher self and inner guidance, and just see if there's anything that's coming up intuitively that I need to know before I begin with my spell work. Typically, nothing comes up, nothing's coming up right now. Again, this is kind of an example, so I'm not really working my full magic here, but nothing's really coming up. I'm just kind of getting the all clear to go ahead, so let's dive in. So with building this money bowl, what we're going to do is add some of these items in, and they're going to be our initial items that go into the money bowl. Throughout the month, we're going to continue adding to it and engaging with it. We might take things out if they feel stale or like they aren't really feeling like they fit anymore. It can be a very intuitive practice, but we are going to start with an initial setup, an initial kind of coming together of everything in the money bowl to then put it together, set the intention and energy in it, and then to activate it and get it starting attracting money into our lives. So what I do is I start typically with whatever is going in that really symbolizes money to me, aside from the coins, right? Those come into play later and we'll get to those. So for me, again, these are the money tree leaves. So we're going to take our dried money tree leaves and place them in here. And as I place each ingredient in here, I like to really infuse each ingredient with my intention. Why, really giving it that energy of why am I putting this in this bowl? What is it doing? What energy am I drawing forth from it? Am I putting into it? Am I activating in the money bowl? So for the money tree leaves, I am charging them with the intention for ever-growing abundance in my life. Next, we are going to put our lavender in here. So we have our little bits, we'll put them in there as well. With the lavender, I like to give it just that intention of effortless flow of money and abundance, and just really infuse that intention into a peaceful, joyful flow of money into my reality. And we place them here in the money bowl. You can kind of play around with whatever looks the most aesthetically pleasing to you, with whatever looks best. We can also tweak things as we put things in our money bowl. Next, we're going to take our rosemary and place that in there, and we're going to fuel the intent for protection of my finances and the highest good of all as this money flows to me. I feel like I want that to go right here. Next, I'm going to add in my oracle card. Again, with this prosperous overflow card, I'm going to charge it with the intention to be open to easily and gracefully receive all the wealth that is coming to me. I like to tuck my card behind my herbs. You could put it in first. For me, the card kind of always comes last if I'm using one in my money bowl in terms of the initial ingredients. Right, so right here we already have the start of a money bowl. And now what we're going to do, now that the initial ingredients are in here, is we're going to add our intention that we got clarity on at the beginning of this walkthrough. And we're going to add that in there and then activate the bowl. So I am now going to write on this piece of paper my intention for this money bowl. So again, I'm going to write this in the present tense, like an affirmation, like it is already done. So in this example, I'm going to write, I receive $10,000 or more in cash every month with ease and in a way that delights me. So I want this to come in a fun way, in a pleasing way. I don't want it to come in a negative way or a way that isn't really worth the money, right? All right, so now that we have our intention of what we are using this bowl to call in, what kind of money or the way we're using this bowl to attract money to us, now that we have that written down here, I'm going to take this piece of paper with this intention and I'm going to fold it around one of my coins. So I'm going to use a dime here because in our American currency that is 10 cents. And since we're doing $10,000 months here, that just seems like the right amount. You can do whatever coin you want to pair with your intention. Completely up to you and what feels best. So we will fold this intention over this coin. And I like to fold the ends in. And then I'm going to, again, just charge that intention into this coin and paper. Just charge that intention for $10,000 or more in cash every month to flow into my life in a way that feels easy and in a way that delights me. And once I have charged that intention, I'm going to stick it here in the bowl. Now, once all of my items are here in the bowl, because we have all of our initial items now in our money bowl ready to go, it is all put together now, we are going to activate it. So to activate it, I like to, personally, sometimes I like to rub my hands together to just kind of get that energy moving. You can do whatever feels best to you. And then I like to hold my hands over the bowl and I say the following incantation. And as I do, I flow my energy. I feel and see my energy flowing into this bowl. And the incantation is, in this vessel, strong and bold, call forth wealth for me to hold. By the power of earth and sea, bring to me prosperity. With harm to none, with love and light, bring forth money pure and bright. With gratitude and intention true, abundance fills this bowl anew. I will put that incantation for you in the email that you can get when you opt in to receive this Money Magic series for free, and that will give you exclusive tips to supercharge the spell, but also I will write that incantation in there for you so that you can easily reference it. Again, make sure you go sign up for that in the link in the description below this video. Now our bowl is activated. It's activated. It's now starting to attract abundance and energy and money and prosperity to us. It's starting to work on attracting that $10,000 that I'm calling in every month with ease into my reality. It's actively doing it at all times. So at this point, once you've initially set up your money bowl, this is like day 1 or day 0 of your money bowl, right? I would now close out this practice. I would shield the bowl, the area. I would do some protection work. I would shield myself mostly and my energy, and then I would ground myself and I would be done for now. But we are now going to walk through how we start to engage with this bowl on a daily basis, because like I said earlier in this video, I like to feed my money bowl every day with my abundance tracking. So each day, typically at the end of each day, I write down on a piece of paper all the ways that money has come to me, like all ways, big and small. So I write things like I found a quarter while out walking, or if I, made a sale in my business, I made $500 in sales in my business, or whatever the amount was. If I saved $10 at the grocery store because there was a sale, I write that I saved $10, right? If I got a discount on an item I was buying, I write the discount, I write that amount down. So it's really just bringing that awareness to all this money that's flowing into your life, because where your energy goes, things grow. So the way that you do this daily is we're going to be using our paper, our coins, and our pen. So again, this is why this is kind of like how things live with my money bowl. My money bowl, like I said earlier in this video, is in the corner of my kitchen at one of my abundance altars, and it has paper and a pen and a bowl full of coins next to it. So what I typically do with this is, with my abundance tracking, is I will write, like I said, at the end of each day, I'll write the money that came to me on a piece of paper. So here I'm going to write, for example, let's say I took a walk this day that I'm doing my money bowl ritual at the end of the day. I took a walk, I found a quarter on the ground. So I'm going to write, you could date it if you want to date it, or you can just write, I found a quarter on the ground while out for a walk. Sorry if the writing is shaking my tripod at all. And now what I would do is I would take maybe even that same quarter that I found on the ground, or just any of the coins out of my coin bowl here, put it on the piece of paper, and then fold the paper around the coin again, just like we did with that initial one. All right, so now that we have our coin wrapped in here, we take a moment to really feel into gratitude. Even if it's just 25 cents, that's still money that flowed to you, and money adds up. And the more that you are grateful for the way money flows to you, and you really take time each day to sit with that gratitude, the more that money is going to want to flow to you and is going to start to flow to you in your life. So taking this moment to just feel gratitude for this quarter, for the fact that it came to me so easily. It came to me so easily in a way that delighted me. I was out for a walk and it just was there. Like, how fun, how surprising. And then we put that into our bowl. So we would do that again with the next way that money came to us. You could write all of the ways that money came to you in a day on one single piece of paper and just use like 30, 31 coins throughout the month to fill up your bowl. I love to do these individually because it really gives you that physical representation, that visual representation of how much and how often money is flowing to you throughout your life, throughout your day, throughout your month. So this would be, let's say I made a sale for $600 in my business. I would say I received $600 from a sale in my business. If you got your paycheck, right? You got your paycheck today if you work for someone. You can write how much you got and that you received it from your job. And then we would just take one of our coins, can be whatever coin feels best to you. And again, just fold it around. And you get the idea. We do this each day with all the ways money is coming to us, abundance is coming to us, right? Every day, all the ways. Thank you. So much gratitude for how this flowed to me, for the fact that someone wanted to purchase something from me, from the fact that they loved it enough and trust me enough and my guidance enough to want to purchase something for $600 from me. That's amazing. And then we tuck it in there wherever you like. Now, if you have a day where money didn't come to you, right? If it didn't have, you didn't have any money come to you that day, there's no way you can think of it. You didn't get any discounts. You didn't go shopping. You didn't have any sales in your business or get your paycheck or anything like that. Then what you want to do on days like that is you want to, here, we'll grab another piece of paper. You want to take a piece of paper and you want to write out something that you feel gratitude for, or an affirmation, or you could even draw a sigil if you work with those. I'll often feed my bowl with sigils, but every day you want to be feeding something into your bowl. So it's either gratitude for the money that came to you, like we did with these coins we already have in here that we just did together, or it's feeding the bowl with some sort of affirmation or a sigil. Or you could do something other than the paper. You could always put like a crystal in there, right? Like if we wanted to put some aventurine in there, we wanted to put some citrine in there, we wanted to take some herbs, other herbs, or another oracle card or a tarot card or something like that. Like whatever you want to go into this bowl that you want to feed it with. You could also add extra things into the bowl even on a day where money did come in. Because most days in my life, money comes to me in some way, whether it's a few cents or thousands of dollars. Money is constantly flowing me. That's because I've been working this sort of magic for a long time. But it doesn't have to be that way. And so if you need to still engage with your money bowl and there's nothing to write to give it to have that gratitude for what flow to you, then write an affirmation that makes you feel really empowered around money, or write a sigil for abundance, or put in some other offering, right? So if, let's say I didn't have any money come to me today, I would probably honestly write out an affirmation. One I've been using a lot is I am abundant, wild, and free. This has been one that's just been playing on a loop in my head lately. Then take one of our coins and we fold this up. And as we put it into the money bowl, we really feel that affirmation. We really feel the energy of being abundant, wild, and free, or whatever it is that you are offering to the bowl. Really feel it. Let yourself feel it. And then we put that in there. And so over the month, your bowl will grow. This is why I like using a big money bowl, so that you have lots of room for it to grow. And it's really cool to see at the end of the month, like a big bowl filled with so many pieces of paper and coins, just tracking all the money you brought into your life, or all the things that represent abundance to you if you're adding more offerings into it. So completely up to you how you want to approach those pieces of it, but this is honestly my favorite way to go about it, and it's why I like having a big money bowl. But some people like to just have these small money bowls. A lot of people also don't engage with them every day, and they definitely don't do this abundance tracking, so you're not adding so much in all the time. If you'd prefer to do that more traditional approach to the money bowl, then you absolutely can, where you just initially set it up and occasionally add things into it. A lot of people like to put dollar bills in there or paper money. It's completely up to you. Be creative with whatever looks and feels best to you. Now, real quick, we'll talk about resetting our money bowl and when you want to do that and how to go about that. And then after that, we will talk about troubleshooting the money bowl if it doesn't seem to be working for you. So after about, I'd say usually a month, I like to reset my money bowl. Sometimes I will, especially if I have my big money bowl going, I'll let that go for a couple months if it feels good to, but typically about every 28 days or so, every month, I reset my money bowl. And so in order to reset the money bowl, that just means that what I do is I kind of cleanse the space again. I really center myself and really gather all my energy. And then I get really intentional and I just take a few minutes to sit with the money bowl, maybe meditate with it. And I thank it for all that it has attracted to me, all the abundance it's brought into my life over the last month that we've been working together. And then I will take everything out one thing at a time. I usually start by taking each of the pieces of paper out and the coins, and I unfold every single one of them and read it and feel into the gratitude for every single little way that money came to me, or really feel into the energy of all the offerings that I gave it. So I would take out every single coin first, all the paper, and then I start taking out all of the offerings, all of the items, all of the herbs and the cards and any crystals and things like that. And then I will cleanse everything. You can keep the paper if you want. You can dispose of it in a way that feels best to you. And then I cleanse everything and I start anew. And usually it's with a new intention if I'm calling something else in with the money bowl. Sometimes it's just that I want to kind of swap out all the herbs and I start with different ingredients that kind of line up more with whatever I'm trying to call in, but these are kind of my standard go-to ones. Often the oracle card will change from depending what I pull or what intention I want to put in there. So yeah, that's why I love using my oracle deck that I created for that, the Wealthy Woman Oracle, just because there's so many different beautiful intentions you can set with the different cards from that in your money bowl, if that's something that you want to use as a tool in there. So yeah, this really becomes a monthly ritual to set it up and take it down and reset it and really sit with all the ways money came to me and build more of that gratitude and that focus and that intention with my money and become more of that energetic match with it. And it's also just a really beautiful daily practice because I love getting to sit down and put my little coins with the paper wrapped around them in there and write out the ways that money came to me. And it's such a highlight of my day. And it's such a great thing, I think, also to do right before bed or later in the evening to just kind of wind down with. So yeah, that's it. That's how we work with our money bowl. Let's talk now about troubleshooting the spell. Now that we have covered how to set up and work with your money bowl, let's talk about troubleshooting this practice. So if you do your money bowl and you're working with it for, I'd say, at least a month, and you're really seeing no improvement in your financial reality, then here is what I would recommend looking at to try to fix that. The first thing is to ask yourself if you are regularly feeding your bowl or engaging with it in some meaningful and present and intentional way. Are you being mindful when you are engaging with your money bowl, or is it just another one of those tasks that you're doing to just check off your to-do list and you're kind of like autopiloting through it and not really being conscious or intentional with your energy and your magic when you're doing this? Or are you just not engaging with it really much at all? You just kind of put it somewhere off to the side and didn't engage with it whatsoever. Does the area around your bowl feel stagnant or dirty or cluttered? Does it need to be cleaned up somehow, or do you maybe need to move your money bowl to a different location in your home? And of course, check in with yourself to see if you are embodying your spell work, your magic, and your practice with this money bowl. What I mean by this is, are you doubting whether the money bowl will actually work? Are you acting like the version of you who's already seen all the money that they desire come into your reality? Are you thinking, feeling, and acting like you would once all the money you're desiring to manifest with your money bowl has come in? If not, that's where you need to focus your efforts. This is such a key part of working any sort of magic. You have to be confident in your abilities to manifest or create the wealth that you desire. If you don't believe that you are, if you have a lot of subconscious or underlying limiting beliefs or thoughts around money or your creative ability in this lifetime to manifest the things you desire, then you're going to be actively blocking or undoing all of the work you're doing with your money bowl. So if you feel like you are struggling with this embodiment piece, which is part of spell work, part of magic that just most people don't talk about very often, then you are absolutely more than welcome to come join me inside of the Wealth Vibe membership to get support with this in particular. I created the Wealth Vibe membership as a space to help people embody their wealthiest versions of themselves, to really learn how to tap into and hold the embodiment of the wealth they desire so that they can actually manifest it into their lives. The link to get all the info on the Wealth Vibe membership is in the description below this video. You can also go to tayloreaton.com/thewealthvibe. This by far is my absolute favorite thing I have created in my business to date, and it is just full of amazing people. There's such a wonderful sense of community in there and tons of resources and monthly challenges where we work specifically on helping you master that art of wealth embodiment so that you can actually have your money manifestations or money spell work come to fruition in your life. It is one of the most powerful resources I have ever seen or created out there to help you suspend that disbelief in what you are trying to consciously create in your life. Enrollment is open right now, but only for a couple more days. So definitely go check that out if you want to join us. In the month of October, we are doing a whole challenge to help you really get in the habit of connecting more with the element of magic and magic around money specifically, and allowing money to be magical in the way that it flows into your life and the way that you engage with it, also that you can actually get the results you want around money. If you are watching this video later on and enrollment is currently closed, no worries, still click that link in the description below this video and go sign up for the waitlist, and I will of course send you an email and notify you once enrollment is open again. We tend to open enrollment around the end of each month. So that's our spell, or rather I should say magical ritual for manifesting or creating more money and abundance in your life. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and definitely let me know if you do this money bowl practice and how it goes for you. Also let me know what you put in your money bowl. I would love to hear more about what feels like wealth to you and what helps you attract wealth. And of course, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in our next video where we will be covering a spell to multiply money, which is so fun. In the meantime, I am wishing you so much love and abundance.